Well, marijuana is legal in Colorado, and I understand that people are using food stamps to buy weed there. You're a liar, Zo. You're just brainwashed by Fox News. I didn't hear the story from Fox News. I saw the story first on Alan West's website, but I understand you think we're all liars. But let me ask you, do you think it's a good idea that now people can withdraw money with EBT cards? And I know it'll be very naive of me to think that a lot of y'all would admit to that, or at least won't try to justify that. But the fact is, a great majority of people who use food stamps vote Democrat, and a lot of them do use drugs. And one of the reasons why Democrats keep their office is because of satisfying their voter stock by giving them things like EBT cards at the forced expense of others. So, how do you think it's a good idea to give money that was taken from someone else to someone who doesn't really know how to make honest money?
I think what's happening. Propaganda.
So, you're cold-hearted and callous, man. Shut up. I know there's people out there who fall on some hard times, people who really need a hand up and aren't just looking for a handout. These are genuine instances. But consider, pretty much anyone who is issued an EBT card is gonna justify why they need it and think that their circumstances are just as dire as anybody else's. Some people believe they just deserve it and make a career out of living off the system. And for some people, they hate having to receive government assistance and want to get off it ASAP and be independent. Some really mean it. And some say it to fool themselves and hope to fool others out of perceiving them as freeloaders. And it's confusing when I'm supposed to believe that these EBT and unemployment benefits are supposed to be good for the economy when I drive around the streets of LA and I see places that say now accepting EBT. But on those same buildings, I don't often see signs saying now accepting applications. Anyway, a word to people like Obama, who implies that marijuana is no worse than alcohol. Many people who try to make that case that alcohol is just as bad as pot contradict themselves. How do you make the case that it's good to make something legal by making a comparison to something associated as being bad? And while you legalize it, people try to make alcohol out to look evil so as to make marijuana look harmless in light of alcohol. I've even heard some of y'all say if marijuana shouldn't be legal, alcohol shouldn't be legal either, because it's far worse. It's a disingenuous argument because you know if alcohol was made illegal, you sane people would lose your minds. Proof positive, y'all are still bringing up prohibition today. Y'all think that marijuana is great for treating cancer. Meanwhile, marijuana smoke is linked to cell damage, polluting cancer. Of course, the legalizing people don't believe that. When it comes to these liberals who love to get high, everything else causes cancer. They want warning signs on everything. And even if it's a product that has a preservative in it that you would have to consume massive amounts of to even be at a risk of cancer, it's bad for you, and the evil corporation that makes it should be burned to the ground. But if you implicate marijuana as potentially cancerous, they'll be like, nuh-uh, marijuana is good for you. It's from the earth and it's nutritious. So these liberals think that conservatives are off base with their claim about marijuana for food stamps. Because according to liberals, using EBT benefits to buy marijuana is illegal, so case closed, you stupid conservatives. There's no possible way people can buy marijuana with EBT. It's illegal. Meanwhile, they overlook the fact that we've got stores selling it despite the federal illegality of it. If it's such a big lie told by that lying liar, Brian Kilmeade, at those fabricators over at Fox News, then there would have been no reason for Senator Irene Aguilar, Democrat out of Denver, to say, I'm not comfortable limiting the access, that being the ability to withdraw cash from ATM machines in pot shops, until I'm certain we've done the due diligence to make sure people can access their benefits when they need to. She didn't say anything that affirms that people never have been able to withdraw cash from ATM machines in pot shops. What she said was to the effect that they can withdraw money from ATM machines in pot shops and should be able to continue to do so. And even if there was a block on people using their EBT cards at an ATM machine at a pot shop, So what? You underestimate the lengths a lot of people will go through to get high. Which means it ain't no thing to withdraw money at a grocery store over here and take that cash and go to buy some marijuana at the pot shop over there. And now he's at home enjoying marijuana and munchies at the taxpayer's expense. But we right-wingers are the liars. Now, who's the idiot who thought it'd be a good idea to change food stamps into a card that would give you cash? It wasn't good for the community when people on the street were flipping food stamps for cash. How did the government figure that they could do it and it would be a good idea? And that's another example to these left-wing liars who try to call us right-wingers liars. I've seen it with my own eyes before I became a conservative and used to hang with my dudes in Venice Beach who would get their baby mama's food stamps and then go sell them. And an example of how this works is that a person buying the food stamps can spend $35 and get $50 worth of food stamps. And that's how the deals went down. And now the food stamp trader has cash for alcohol and drugs that he couldn't buy with the food stamps. People even traded food stamps on Craigslist. Now the government does it for you. Take your EBT card and get cash. And people are even selling their EBT cards. So don't even sit there and try to call us liars and say that people aren't withdrawing cash that was meant for food and buying drugs with it. People have been getting high on the taxpayer's dime for decades. The government just made it easier to do with EBT. Trust me, I know people are gonna find ways to get high, and they're gonna find ways to get the money the wrong way to do it. That's no excuse to make it easier for them, and it's no excuse to make it easier for the government to rob the American worker just so they can give people an ATM card compliments of the Democrat Party. I'm Alfonso Rachel with ZoNATION, still warning y'all that it will come at the forced expense of others when you institutionalize dependency. Nuh-uh.